Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim here again, and hello to all my Patreon patrons. This is the first exclusive tutorial for my Patreon patrons at the $3 level, as you know, currently speaking. And this is what we're doing today. This is the stitched shield wall. It's a design by Makombet. We all know his designs. I've done a few of his on my channel. And yeah, based on the poll, you guys wanted a wide buckled bracelet, so I thought I'd go big and do something really special for you on this first one. Hope I'm not setting the bar too high, because I'm not sure if I can make, you know, such a complex tutorial every time, but I do hope to make exclusive tutorials that will be of value to you. So this is really just a double Solomon with a spine down the center and some stitching. But man, the way you do this, even without the stitching, it looks like a very good bracelet. But with the stitching, it really takes it to the top and creates this almost like an armor-like scale pattern. And it's truly something to look at. So it's not too difficult. It might be a little time consuming, but not too bad either. And this one turned out really nicely. So again, guys, thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. Let me know what you think of this project in the comments on Patreon, on my Patreon feed, and yeah, give me some more ideas of what you guys want to see. Alright, that being said, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so to start off this bracelet, we've got a bit of setup to do. As you can see, I've got my buckles on my jig here, and I've got two pieces of paracord separated. These are two pieces. They're just attached via a cow's hitch, single cow's hitch like that. And we've got to add our accent strand before we do that. So we're going to use the kind of modified Manny method of doing so. So I've got my accent color here. I'm using red. So what I'm going to do, I've shown you this before, but we'll go through it again. I'm going to take one end of the paracord off. Actually, what we're going to do first is get the paracord through the buckles. So I've got my I've got these two cow's hitches here, and ideally what you should do is just kind of separate these and get them through, get this strand of paracord through. Just right in, you want them right in the middle of those two cow's hitches. Okay, so I've got that through. Pull most of it through, and now we're going to prep the other end of the paracord. Okay, so let's get all this stuff out of the way first. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to cut off the end of the paracord there. You're going to pull out just a little bit of the inner cords. Cut that off. And let it kind of retract back in a bit. And then of course we're going to take our lighter and then a little torch and take our knotter's tool and widen that a bit. Okay, and there we go. So this is what we want to be at right now. So next I'm going to take my knotter's tool again, and I'm going to pierce that sheath, maybe just right about here. Right, and that's where we're going to insert paracord. So make sure that's nice and wide so you can get the fid through. Okay, so I've done that. And then now, on the other end of my paracord, I've got a fid attached. Okay, and make sure your paracord is like this. Make sure it's not tangled behind these other cords. And you're going to put it through that opening we created. And just going to push it through like that. And then you're going to pull that all the way through. Like so. And there we go. Now we have our anchored piece here. And now we can go back to the jig. Okay, so next we're going to take our setup here, and on the bottom here I've just got the buckle attached like so, And now we're going to feed all our ends through the front of the buckle and out the back. Okay, so let's do that real quick. And that's the main difference between this one and the previous double wide Solomon knot I taught you. We went towards you, so this time we're going away from you, out the front, sorry, through the front, out the back. Okay, so I've got the 2 strands on the right there, and now we're going to incorporate the accent strand in the middle. You can always use larger buckles so you don't have to struggle like I do, but I just tend to like these size buckles. That way, you know, if you use a larger buckle, you'll have more space to get all that cord through. Just take this off to make it a little easier. Okay, there we go. So that should be our setup. 2 strands, 2 of the greens coming out the sides, through the front, out the back, and then 1, the accent strand coming down the middle. Okay, so we got our paracord set up now, and we're going to start weaving. So first step is to take the accent strand in the middle, bring it to the right of the middle, like so, and then loop it over and bring it back out to the other side, because this is going to form that spine design that's so prominent in it. Okay, so leave that there. I'm just going to secure it here for now, slightly. Alright, so next step, we're going to take the strands on the right, and you're going to I'm going to tie 2 Solomon knots, starting with the strand on the left. Bring it towards the outside, over the core. Right strand over top of that, and bring the strand through the loop. Okay, so that's 1 knot. And then we're going to tie a second one. Remember, use the same lead strand over the core, left over top of that, and out the other side. Okay, so that's 1 side we're going to do. And then we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Again, take both strands like so, and strand that's on the inside, so on the right this time, bring that towards the outside, left over top of that, and then through the loop you created. Tie this up and make sure you cinch it up nice and tight. That's 1 Solomon. Let's tie a second one. Left over top of that and out through. Okay, so that's the first set of knots. Now, here's the part again. We're going to go back to our accent strand. Make sure this is nice and tight. I apologize for my hands getting in the way, but I'm just trying to make sure the slack is out. Okay, now you're going to cross your strands in the middle behind each other. So I'm going to do left and right. So bring them to the opposite side like so, like that. And then now we're going to do another accent in the middle. So bring this to the front again, like that. And then bring that out the back again, like so. And then set it aside. And then we're kind of back where we started now. So again, strand on the left, remember, always towards the outside. 1 Solomon knot, like so. That tight. 2 Solomon knots. Like that. Here we go. Try to just keep that accent in the middle there. So that's 2 Solomon knots on that side, and again, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. 1 Solomon knot. And the second one. So this one can get a little messy, I apologize. But it's pretty simple overall though. Okay, so then again now we did the 2 Solomon knots. Like so. Now again, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to cross left and right behind. And again, we're back where we started. So from here, again, we're going to take our accent strand, bring that through the middle. So that is essentially the pattern. It's a set of tying the 2 Solomon knots, or sorry, doing the that center spine, 2 Solomon knots, switch the strands, center spine, and then do it again. So let's just go one more time from here. So I've got my strands again. I'm going to do left and right over, like so. Okay, and then get your accent strand over the middle and out the back again. That first couple strands will look a little weird because the spacing, but you can always just kind of play with it. Okay, so we got that, put that out of the way. And again, we're going to do 2 Solomon knots. One and 2. And then again on this side, 2 Solomon knots. It's 1 and 2. Okay. So again, back where we started. So just continue repeating that pattern as you go down your bracelet. Yeah, so we'll do crossover again. Sorry, I like to do left over right. Like so, and then back to the accent and so forth. Okay, so continue doing that all the way down your bracelet, and then I'll meet you down there. We'll figure out what to do from there. Okay, so we're coming down to the end here, and it's going to get a little tight, but I've just melted my ends of my paracord, so I don't need to keep taking fids on and off. So that's a pretty good tip I like to do, another thing I like to do. So get this last few knots tied up. Don't think there's anything special you need to do. It's just going to be a little tricky. I think I can definitely do like 2 more knots here. So let's do that real quick. Okay, and there we go. So got the last 2 knots tied. Let's see how useful those melted ends were. Now we can't really cut it here because it's going to be in the front, so I'm going to take this strand and push it through the back, just right next to the red accent there, and pull it through. There we go. And this strand goes right through here, out the other end. There we go. Nice. So we're just going to snip and singe all the excess now. Let's just get this off the jig real quick. So that's these two strands on the side, and also these three at the back. Okay, so now that we got our bracelet finished up, well, not finished yet, we got the main stuff done. You could stop here if you like the look of this one. I think it's really awesome, just like this. But we're gonna go big and add some stitching as well. So I got my microcord on a type 1 fid here, and I'm going to start off by just anchoring it at the back. I'm gonna go under 3 stitches here, 3 knots. Just get that underneath. It's under 1. Let's do 2 more. Just a little insurance. And then I'm going to make it come out the front here. Okay, so if you've done your bracelet setup like I have, you should have it similar. And the stitch we're going to do is actually quite simple. We'll be careful not to pull it too... See how at the right here I've got that end of the microcord melted and mushroomed out? That's really going to help accidents from it like slipping out. Okay, so as I was saying, the design is actually quite simple. This would probably look better with a slightly thicker cord, like maybe 325, maybe 95 cord actually. But I don't have any red 95 on hand, so we're going to use microcord, just because the accents will look thicker. Anyhow, let's go across to this this loop right here. You're going to go underneath it, through. So pull that through. Like so. And then from here, you're going to go to this one. So you're going to go zigzagging. And then you're going to go on the outside of that knot and through, and make sure you go over top of this strand here. Don't go underneath. Okay? Pull that through. And that's basically it. We're going to go back to this side now. Go under and then over. Careful not to stab yourself. Bring that through. And there you go. And then back to this side. So you can see the pattern I'm doing. It's not difficult at all, but when we do it on both sides, it's going to create a very nice effect, as you saw earlier from the finished product. Like that. See? Super simple, but I think it makes a big difference, especially when you choose a color that is matches your accent cord down the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to continue this stitching pattern all the way down this side, and then of course you're going to do the same thing all the way down the other side. Okay, so I've come down to the first side here, and we're going to go through this last knot here. Okay, bring that through. Like so. And to finish, I'm just going to put it through to the other side. Actually, I'll go through here. So that's maybe one of the reasons you might not want to snip and singe early, but you can still do it. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's get it through here. I'm just going to go right through the back here, like this. like that. And then to secure it, I'm going to just tuck it under a few of these strands here. So let's just go under 1, 2, go under 3 of them. And pull that through. And it always gets caught. Come on, there we go. Okay, so you can snip and cinch that cord there. And then you're just going to do the exact same thing on the other side. You could probably do like one entire single strand all the way around, but I didn't really plan ahead for that. So maybe you can do that on when you make yours. Okay, so I'm just going to snip that off, and then I'm going to do it again on this side. Okay, so I just did that same setup, anchoring it on this side, and then now we're going to do the exact same pattern. Yeah, we're going to start by coming to the middle as we did before. We're going to, this one's a little tricky, so hit it under here, there we go. Let's go over that. So yeah, we're going to do the exact same pattern. And make your way down this side. I don't think I need to show you guys again, but yeah, just continue doing that same stitch all the way down to the other side. Okay, got this side done, did the exact same thing, and I'm just going to tuck it again under 3 of these stitches, these knots here. Go under 1, 2, 3. Oops, careful not to pierce the paracord as usual. Okay, there we go. So we snip and cinch, and then we are finished. Okay, and there we have it. We are done. Everything came together just perfectly on this one, and that is a pretty good looking bracelet, if I say so myself. Yeah. So again, this was the first Patreon exclusive video. I hope all of you enjoyed it. I hope you found value in it. Again, thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. You guys, it makes a big difference for me now that I'm kind of putting more time and effort into my channel. And yeah, hope you enjoy. So let me know what you think of this video. Send me a message, or comment on the Patreon post. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you on the next one.